What's up, people of YouTube? This is Grow Me Something Mister. We're at Bright Idea Gardens, and in another video of our homegrown home cooking, it's going to feature pork chops, cabbage, onion, bell pepper. So the bell pepper, that's homegrown. The green onion, that's homegrown. The cabbage will be homegrown. The white onion, I got that from the store. Pork chops, got that from the store. So we're going to smother down these vegetables real quick, give them a couple of minutes to soften up. Then we're going to put in the cabbage in here as well, homegrown cabbage. Stay tuned. Alright, so I let that cook down for just a few minutes. Literally, I put a little extra olive oil in there. I don't have canola oil. I'm about to put down my pork chops now. These are bone-in pork chops. Once they're in, don't play around with them. Let them brown. I'm cooking it this way so that I can get that fond on the bottom of the pot. And when I put the cabbage in, the cabbage will pick up that brown stuff, the brown bits at the bottom, and it'll make everything taste better, give it a little darker color. So I'm just going to let that cook down. I seasoned one side. I'm about to season the other side now. That's cayenne pepper, garlic powder. Season it any way you like, whatever seasonings you like. If you like bland food, then put nothing on it. Put some salt. We'll put more salt in when it's time for the cabbage to go in. We'll just let that brown. I got about medium-high fire, gas. Just let it brown down. You start to see stuff curl up. Basically, we're going to cook these pork chops first, maybe 50% through. Then we're going to get the cabbage in, and then let the pork chops sit on top of the cabbage. When the cabbage is 3/4 of the way done, that way pork chops cook inside of that, meld down into with the rest of the juices. You get a nice pot liquor in there. So we'll be back shortly. Nice color. Took both my chops out. I forgot to mention that I did put some water in here and cover it with the lid just to get it cooking on the inside a little bit. I have it in the plate. You want to keep those juices because it's eventually going to go right back into the pot. You don't want to lose all that. It's all good flavor. Should have mentioned that I'm going to be cooking rice with this. This is my cabbage. Right here, I just took the center out. Washed it, and I don't have one of those spinner things, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be adding liquid to this as it is. So I just kind of quartered them, actually maybe cut them into 6 or 8. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to use the tongs and break this down as it is. So alright, there we go. I did clean my hands, cleaned them yesterday. And I have some salted water with some black pepper as well, because the cabbage will need some salt. That will help draw out the moisture to help cook it. I have this on a sort of high fire. How much water was that? I don't know. I didn't really measure. I just put it into the pot. So this will need to come to a boil, and it'll just cook down. Just let it cook, cook, cook. It's going to smother down. I'm also going to cook rice with this, and brown rice, so that'll take about 40 minutes. So I would guess by the time the rice is cooked, this will be cooked as well. But in between that, I'm going to be putting the pork chops back in. So we'll see when this is about ready to serve. Oh, and I should mention that you need to check the water levels. You don't want to just put in a certain amount of water and then just let it go down to nothing, because then you'll get a burnt pot at the bottom. So you do want to keep some water in, a couple of inches of water in the pot. Let that get to a boil and just let that cook down. Add water as you need to add water. You may need to add seasonings at the end as well. You just adjust that as necessary. If you want to have something dark, instead of using salt, you can use soy sauce if you want. I may end up doing that, depends on how much liquid boils out of this thing before the cabbage is all done. And of course with your cabbage, as you all know, when you're finished cutting up the cabbage, when you're pulling out the outer leaves, cutting the core, don't throw that away. That goes in your compost pile. Alright, so I've had these pork chops back into the cabbage for about 7-8 minutes or so. There's a lot more liquid. I didn't have to put any extra liquid in. My rice is done. I already served up some of that. So I'm going to take out a pork chop. I think I'll take out this big boy right here. Pork chop's going to go right on top of the rice, on the side. Shut off the fire. It's cooked for about 50 minutes or so. You can just change up, different how your fire and whatnot, and how well done you like your cabbage. So you can see the cabbage is it's real. There's some of the thicker parts that have a little crunch to it, which isn't bad. Now, of course, you'd want to make sure to taste everything. I'm going to go ahead and taste my pot liquor. That's that liquid right there, pot liquor. C'est bon, as they say. That means it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and serve up some of this right next to the pork chop, right on top of my brown rice. That pot liquor, you can drink that afterwards. You can let that go right on top of your rice. You can strain it if you want. It doesn't matter, up to you. Whatever you like. I'm just going to put a bunch of it right on top. Now, I guess I can't go at a certain video and not show y'all what it's like for me to try it. So let me get this set up and we'll be right back. Alright everybody, so this is it. Smothered cabbage over brown rice with pork chop. Part of my series of the homegrown, home-cooked meals. One thing I got to add on there is my Louisiana hot sauce. You don't have to add hot sauce if you don't want to. But I like hot sauce, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and try this real quick. That's tender. So is the pork chop. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. This is Grow Me Something Mister. And remember, well, I don't have an exit line, so see you later, everybody.